Edgenuity can allow a teacher to assign students content for ACT prep, end of course prep, class review for different content areas. You can also use it to assign unit recovery. For example, you can assign content to students to complete in a math lab or at home or during a study time like SRT time. And the other cool part of Edgenuity is that you can use it with Chromebooks as a way to clone yourself. So for example, you may need time in your class to work with a small group or maybe an individual. Using Edgenuity will allow you to give work and content to the rest of the students so that they can carry on progressing through your class while you have time to conference with those other students. So what we're going to do today is go to edgenuity.com, go to Login, go to Educators, and log in with your user credentials. The first thing we need to do in order to assign content to a student is to build a class for that student. So we're going to assume that you've already browsed and found the content that you want to use with your student. So we're going to go to Students, Manage Students, and we are going to create a user group. I'm going to click Add New Group and give this group a name. So I'll call it ACT Prep First Block. Now I'm going to click Save, and I'm going to return to the list of students. So I'm going to search for a student by name. If you have a whole roster of students that you need to add, it may be easier if you select one of the letters up here to filter out and find individual students. There are multiple pages per letter, so if you are searching and using a roster to find students, the best thing to do is find all the students whose last name begins with B that need to be added to that class. Click on the checkbox next to their name and save the changes on each page before you go to page 2 of the letter B's or page 3 of the letter B's. If you do not save as you go between pages, you will lose the changes from the first page. So for my particular case, I have just one student I'm going to add to a class, so I'm going to click on the magnifying glass and search by name. I'm going to search for Wesley Crusher. Okay, so we have one result. So once I find the student, I'm going to click on the box next to their name, and then it opens up a menu where it says Add to Groups. I'm going to click on this box and select the group that I need to add the student to. So I'm just going to add him to ACT Prep. I click the plus sign to complete that, and it says that yes, the user has been added to the group. Okay, so now we have created a user inside of a group. The next thing we need to do is find the content. So up at the top here we see under Courses, Manage Courses. Let's select Manage Courses. There are tons of courses in here, so you may decide to use Edgenuity for many other things. But when we search for ACT Prep, what we need to do is use one of the search filters here. So I'm going to choose the search filter. When I click it, it opens up this box. I'm going to select Series, and I'm going to check the box next to VT for Virtual Tutor. Okay. Now I'm going to select Apply, and I see all of the test prep options that are inside Edgenuity. So we not only have ACT prep, but we have end of course prep as well. Alright, so let's say that we want to check out this American Literature and Composition or this geometry class or something like that. I'm going to click on the box next to the item, so we'll do Analytic Geometry. And when I select the box next to that item, we notice that the menu appears at the top that allows us to do several things. One of the things we can do is select More, go to View Course Structure, and this will allow us to see the content inside of this course that we've selected. And then if we're curious, we can click on any of these items and see whatever is inside of it. So I want to show all the test questions for triangle congruence. See if this looks like something that's helpful for my kids or not. I will see questions and answers in there. I can also view any kind of instruction that may be a part of the system.
Welcome back.
Under course documents, we find the scope and alignment. So if you're concerned about how does this connect with my standards, we can see that for this particular example here because it's an EOC test prep. So I'm going to go back. We still have this filter applied for the virtual tutor stuff. So let's say I really like this ACT prep for, we'll say math. We really like this one. I'm going to click on it. What I need to do next is I need to create a copy of this content. We're going to click Customize and then click on Create a new course based on this course. What this will allow us to do is create our own copy of that master copy, and that will free us to add or remove anything we need to do with this without causing harm to anybody else who may be using that master copy. So right now I'm looking at ACT Math. The first thing we have to do is change this title to something that is unique. So I'm going to say that I'm a teacher at Northwest High School. I'm going to put my name in here. And I'm going to leave the content title something that makes sense. I may also choose to add which period or block this is for. And then I've got to save my change for it to save this course. Up at the top we see some information. We see that the total time for the content in here is estimated at 103 hours. That's way more than is really feasible for my students to do in class or maybe after school. So we may need to pare this down to just the things that are most essential. In order to do this, what we can do is come down to the bottom here and we can click on a check mark to turn off an entire module, or we can drill down and select specific things that we no longer want to have. I can drag and drop on content to put it in order that makes sense for what we're doing in my class. And once again, I can come in and turn off entire modules if I want to. Once we are finished editing in here, we can look back up to see our total time that's estimated for this class, the current number of lessons and activities. When I'm happy with this, I'm going to click Publish Course, and it will ask me a couple of things in a couple of notification screens. So click Publish Course to make the course content available for enrollment. Yes, we want to do that, publish. And then we have to double check our grade weight categories to make sure they total 100%. There is another thing that we need to do in the screen in addition to checking the grading weights. We see right now they're totaling 100. Down at the bottom of the screen, it has a place to update the start and target dates for students. So if I'm just starting to use this with my students maybe tomorrow, I don't want to show the start date as the beginning of the school year because it will not, Edgenuity won't be able to show me if the students are progressing satisfactorily to be able to reach my end goal. And my target date needs to be the date that we anticipate finishing this setup. So we're going to be ambitious and say we'll finish on December 16th. When I finish, I submit my changes, and we get another notification. This one says Do not change students currently assigned to this course, and that's recommended. So if someone were already in progress working on this and you modified it, we may not want to make any changes to the students who are currently taking it. However, you may decide that you do want to apply changes to a group who is in progress. So please notice that that is a capability here. I'm going to leave this alone because I don't have any kids actively assigned to this content. We see the changes were made successfully. Everything's been saved. So what I need to do now is go back to the list of courses. I'm going to do that. I'm going to come back up here to courses, manage courses, because it's just bringing me back to that initial customized page, which we've already done. I'm going to look up the course by looking for my name. So we went to courses, manage courses, and I'm searching for the ACT prep class that we just made. So here is my ACT prep class. I'm going to click on the box next to the name of it. And now we need to assign this to users. So we already built our user groups. All that I need to do now is find my user group, check the box, and click the plus sign to add those students to this content. So the next thing we'll see is a list of your total roster. I only have one person who's enrolled in this class right now. But for you, you may see a list of 20, 25 kids. So this is a good way to double check and make sure you haven't left anybody out. We click submit, and it tells us that the changes are in progress, and it may take a few minutes for that to come to our students. But what should happen now is that students should be able to log into Edgenuity, and they will see a panel with a list of their classes on the left hand side. They should be able to click and go in and complete those courses.